Holla peeps, it's your girl Schree reporting live for SchreeTV. First I want to give a shout out to Cookie T, cause she said my makeup looks good. And put on some lipstick. You know. Reporting such horrible news, the least you could do is try to look good, you know what I mean?
There are no reports, correct? Correct. There are no other individuals that you know of that she has spoken about, correct? Correct. There is no...
I'm gonna rub it with my jacket on, too. Like I'm ready to get on a bike or something. No, it's just me, Schree.
I want to investigate.
Okay.
About what I do if I get to make a difference.
Well, things have not changed. It seems to be more of the same. You have this Alice lady on the stand, and you have Mr. Martinez, whose name I know so well because she keeps referring to him, you know, at the end of the sentence, you know, like, it's not a yes or no answer, Mr. Martinez. You know, she's kind of bucking up to him, and he is just a bronco kicking and screaming at her. So, again, it's more of the same, you know. He needs to change his technique or something. Go to technique school, you know. But I guess that's just his way in the courtroom. If I was him, I would take it like person to person. You know, maybe analyze their personality a little bit and then work with that. That's what I do with my stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? You gauge your audience. They call courtroom theater. If it's theater, he should get an F in theater. He is sucking. I think we're going back live into the courtroom. Let's see. Okay. Because he's been pulling her tail for a while. She's starting to nip back at his ass. That's what happens.
There is no medical care that may have been needed, correct?
Medical care?
And in fact, there is no journal entry indicating that either, is there? No, and that would make sense. It makes sense because you are biased in this case, aren't you, in favor of the defendant?
He keeps asking her that.
Oh.
For $350 an hour, I would say yes.
Who do the same thing.
Even though she can't say that on the stand, you know?
Somebody else in a different state may have done something in a situation that may be similar. You have taken that and said, because of what this woman or this other woman may have done, you are then saying, that's the reason why...
Holla Cookie Tea, girl!
No, it isn't. It's because of everything that I've read, the consistency of what I've read, the timeline of what I've read.
Hope I don't have nip-chili on my teeth.
That, by the way, any man in my group would consider verbally abusive. So that's why I consider it.
So now what you're telling us is that because you counsel them, right? That's what you're telling us, right?
I counsel men and women.
Right. You counsel men, correct?
Yes, I do.
And now you're telling us, well, I looked at what these men think about in terms of abuse, and they say that what Mr. Alexander is doing is abusive, right? That's what you just told us, right?
I didn't tell them what Mr. Alexander did, but when they discuss abuse and they discuss the things they say to their partners, they talk about abuse.
Ma'am, you just told us just now every man in my group would consider what Mr. Alexander did abusive. You just told us that, right?
Correct.
You don't know what every one of those men would think, do you? You really can't say that, can you?
I know what they talk about in group, Mr. Martinez.
You know
She working hard for that money.
You don't know what they would think in this case. Can you at least admit that? Can you admit that or not?
Can I admit that I don't know
how they would decide this case?
Shit, I
in
can't
terms of
see.
whether or not Mr. Alexander
Now I can see.
I believe that they would agree to that because I have heard their discussions. Some of them have been in the program over 2 years, and I know the way they look at abuse and the way they define abuse.
And this is one of the cornerstones of how you approach this case, how these men would look at this evidence, right?
No, it is not.
Well, you just told us that that's something that you are considering in looking at Mr. Alexander's behavior, what some guy out in Long Beach, California would think about, right?
No.
He is kind of aggressive.
No, I did not use that as a cornerstone, Mr. Martinez, at all, about what I just mentioned that
I gotta
now,
fix that.
but
That's
it's
bothering
not
me.
something that I took in and said, gee, what would the man in my program think about
People
what was
really
being
walk
said?
around with this hair,
I looked at
these
what was
bangs
being
like
said.
that.
I thought anyone who looked at what was being said, if they had a daughter, and that was
How do you
being
fucking
said to
say?
their daughter, would be so upset and so wanting to change
Right?
the behavior that was directed
Feel
at
better?
someone they loved, male or female, that those words strung together are horrific words.
Wow.
And ma'am, with regard to that, that's assuming the truth of what you are being told, right? Yes, sir.
That's the instant message, Mr.
Right. Yeah, and
Mr. Martinez.
in fact, man, there's nothing written in October about what the physical incident was, is there?
I was not addressing that.
I am. Isn't it true that the
I am. I'm
the
addressing
physical
it.
incident in October of 2007? That's where we started talking about it.
Right.
So now, with regard to these questions, do you,
And now I can say.
the behavior that was exhibited by the defendant on August 26th or thereabouts of 2007, what would your men think of a woman coming over that they are broken up about, that they've broken up with, and they're with somebody else, and the previous girlfriend has moved over to where they live, has come over unannounced? Would those men think that that's stalking behavior, since you're using them as sort of a guide now?
Actually, they look at context, Mr. Martinez.
All right, stick,
Looks like they're gonna go to another sidebar. Any reason to go to a sidebar? Martinez is just gonna argue. That's just his shit. That's what he does. I think that we all know that at this point in the trial. That is just his way. We'll just have to see what the jury says. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here. And, yeah, remember to visit Schree and Baby's YouTube page to catch any SchreeTV episode. Or should I say webisode. I'm loving it. Hope you're loving it. We're going to keep on rocking and rolling. I'm going to go fix this up here. Because it's very, very distracting. Apparently I'm very expressive with my forehead. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'd do if I had Botox. I'd have no expression. I mean, I could smile, but, you know, move your eyebrows. Hey, hey, hey. Well, you guys know I love you. We'll be right back with some more SchreeTV in a few.